Now, when I examine the original Star Wars trilogy, one aspect of those movies that I really do enjoy are the interactions between both Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia Organa. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, when we look at Episode 9, we do know that J.J. Abrams is going to do big things for this movie. He's very ambitious and has high goals for this film in order to make it succeed and stand on its own and be the best of this current trilogy. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. Now, the biggest question of all, Harrison Ford. What's going on with him? What's going on with the character of Han Solo? Are they getting back Harrison Ford, or are they not getting back Harrison Ford? Now, you guys may be aware that there are reshoots planned for April of this year of 2019 for this movie, extensive reshoots actually for some of the flashback sequences, as well as some of the cockpit sequences for some of the space battles that they will be using for the third and the second acts of this movie. Now, what's really intriguing has all to do with Harrison Ford. Now, a lot of guys out there, a lot of people have been wondering about what's going on with Harrison. Is he coming back in this movie? The sad thing is that actually officially seems to not be the case as of right now. Now, we do know that initially that there were negotiations in order to get Harrison Ford back on the set during the reshoots of Episode 9 for some of the flashback sequences, and that is absolutely not going to happen for this movie, which honestly I think is a sad thing, because if you look at Harrison Ford, you can see that he wanted to just stay done with Star Wars and shifted away from it after The Force Awakens. After his death, that was it, no ifs, ands, or buts of coming back. So I don't know if it was up to Harrison Ford or if it was up to Disney and Lucasfilm to not get Harrison back, but the good news aside from all of this is that they will be using unused footage of Harrison as Han Solo from The Force Awakens. But the bad news, however, is that we're not going to actually have Harrison Ford on set for Star Wars Episode 9, so we're not going to have the true Harrison Ford as Han Solo returning in this movie in the form of a flashback, as they were trying to get him back for some of those sequences during the reshoots coming up this April. We got pretty much a month to go until reshoots begin. I'm not quite sure, what part of the month they're going to start. Most likely after Star Wars Celebration, most likely, because if they do it before then, it's too busy, and I just don't see how that would work. So, Harrison Ford not being involved in Episode 9, actually himself being on set, to me, I think is a big mistake by Disney and Lucasfilm. If you're doing Han Solo sequences, in which they are, they're using unused footage from The Force Awakens, that was used by Harrison Ford as Han Solo, but they're going to have to go through quite a number of different obstacles in order to make a younger version of Han Solo by use of de-aging technology on some of that footage provided, and as well as an older Han Solo in order to create that reunion scene between both Han, Luke, and Leia. Not only that, we also know that they are doing a Luke and Leia training scene of some sort. You guys may have heard about this a couple of weeks ago, where Luke Skywalker is telling Leia about the Force and teaching her about the Jedi way, showing us exactly why Leia did not become a Jedi. So, with that being said, this movie really is going to be a film that's going to cater to the legacy characters, and we've heard this before in the past, that Episode 9 is going to be used in a sense in order to introduce the legacy characters to a young audience, to new fans of the Star Wars franchise. Disney wants to get people familiar with Han Solo, with, of course, Luke Skywalker, with Leia, Lando, Chewbacca, all of those legacy characters coming back in this movie in order to go back to the originals and really just, watch Star Wars where it all began. So Harrison Ford not being involved physically on set, and how that's absolutely not happening as of right now, I think is bad news. I think it's a step in the wrong direction. However, the fact that they are still using unused footage of Harrison Ford is still good news. It's still, they're still making an effort in order to get Han back, in order to recreate that reunion scene, and to really develop some of those flashback sequences in this movie. Now, the biggest question of all is this. Would you guys prefer, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer about all of this, but would you guys prefer them using the unused footage of Harrison Ford from The Force Awakens, or actually having Harrison Ford on set? And exactly why do you think this happened? Why do you think, they're not going to have Harrison Ford on set for some of the reshoots of the flashback sequences for, you know, those sequences in the second and the third act of this movie. Now, like I say, this movie is very important for Disney and Lucasfilm. It's a course correction, and it's something that a lot of people are really just crossing their fingers, that this movie is really going to stand on its own and be the best of this current trilogy, in order to really, you know, keep the Star Wars franchise and the future of it all very bright and pretty, you know, I guess you could say apparent as to where things are going with this franchise. We do know that after Episode 9, Disney and Lucasfilm plan on taking Star Wars in a different direction with the new trilogy and, of course, the other trilogy by Rian Johnson, as well as other films that are going to be in the forms of spin-offs and stuff like that. So we can see that they are trying to make a large effort in Episode 9 and go out with a bang with this movie. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.